Okay, so the instructions for this is find the LCD for these two terms here, these two expressions. Okay, and so LCD stands for lowest common denominator. So the only part about these two things I'm going to worry about is the denominator in both. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to factor my denominators. So I know that I'm going to have two binomials. I know I'm going to have an x at the beginning of both of them because it's the square root of the first term. Then I'm going to look at my signs. I have a plus and a plus, so that tells me I'm going to have a plus and a plus in my binomials. So now all I have to do is take my factors of 42. So 42, you know, you can do all of them, but the first factors I think of are 6 and 7. Since these are both plus, that means I would be adding my 6 plus 7, and I get 13. So that tells me I have the right, this is my set of factors that I can use for this. And since they're both positive, it doesn't matter whether I do the 6 or the 7 first. Okay. Now, incidentally, in the second expression, we also have 42. But in this case, what I'm going to have is I'm going to have my two binomial parentheses. I'm going to have my x in both. But when you have a negative and a negative in your trinomial, you're going to have what I call one of each. You're going to have a plus sign and you're going to have a minus sign. So that tells me I'm going to be subtracting my factors. So for this one, my 6 and my 7 will be subtracted and I would come up with a 1. Okay, so that's exactly what I need for this one. Now, so I have 7 and 6. I look at my middle term, it's a negative number. So that tells me the 7 needs to be the greater one with the greater value needs to be with the negative number. And then the 6 goes in the other one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I look at all my factors. Well, I have an x plus 6 in both of them. So my LCD is going to be a combination. So I got an x plus 6 in both of them. So that's one of my factors. And then I have an x plus 7 and an x minus 7. So those also are part of my LCD. So x plus 7, x minus 7, and there we have our LCD, because we would need to have all of those terms in both of these if we were going to do something with them and we needed a lowest common denominator to work with them.